because I'm no longer deathly afraid. But I feel like the dog is a protagonist, and it's not the if the dog was like rabies or zombie dogs, then I definitely would not see it because of my slight fear of dogs. This one, the dog's the
So
protagonist.
you're just like not interested because it's a dog.
And a
You're
horror
like,
movie. I mean, it's hard. No, I think
the
it's
dog
because it's a horror
protagonist isn't
movie.
for me. Okay, what if it was dog doing Shakespeare?
Oh fuck yeah, I'm there. That'd be amazing. Like Air Bud, but for Shakespeare.
Well, no, just like a Shakespearean film adaptation, but the protagonist or protagonist,
I would 100%
the easiest one
see
would be
that.
like Romeo
I
and
would
Juliet
see
and
that.
dogs.
Somebody should make that movie. We should make like an AI trailer of that movie because that movie people would go see.
That would be like the low hanging fruit. Romeo and Juliet, starring dogs.
But yeah, I would definitely see Dog Shakespeare. I'm gonna blow your mind, Angel. I'm gonna blow your mind. I saw
Blow my mind.
Novocaine.
Oh,
I saw
nice.
Novocaine, and I don't think we talked about this trailer on an episode, but you and I have talked about the trailer. I saw Love Hurts as well, which
Okay, I
was
forgot
really
about that
interesting.
movie.
And then I went back and I watched saw it with my wife, and I was like, yeah, the trailer, talking with Angel, and the trailer, he was like, yeah, the trailer doesn't match exactly the how the movie ends up being. And I went back and I watched, and it's the teaser that I think you and I talked about. It cut like because I saw the trailer, and the trailer is like another 45 seconds past where the teaser. It's like the teaser plus 45 seconds, and the
Hmm.
trailer kind of had the, let's call it, quirkiness of the movie in it, while the
Hmm.
teaser didn't have that same level. So it was
Oh.
interesting that the trailer, I think, was more indicative of the actual movie than the teaser. But I agreed with you. I liked the teaser trailer more than I did maybe the movie.
But we didn't
No, no,
dissect that
no.
one.
We didn't
Oh, okay, I
dissect
was.
it. You and I
Oh,
just
we
talked
just
about it
like
offline.
offline. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah, yeah.
remember
But
that.
then I saw Novocaine.
What'd you
Um,
think?
I enjoyed it. I think it played up to Jack Quaid's indie movie, past, where he's done sort of the rom-com kind of movies that lean into the comedy aspect. And yeah, I think the absurdity of the situation that is the premise. I'm
Hmm.
glad at least they were like, yeah, you really messed yourself up. Uh, I think I guess the two things for me is one, and this happens all the time in action movies, where like somebody gets hurt and they're like, oh, this really hurts, but then they don't like adjust for the fact that like that muscle is ripped up, so you can't use that muscle anymore. So if you get like shot in the hand, you can't do certain things with your hand anymore, even if
Yeah.
like this character has no pain. Like if you have a giant spike in your back, like that's gonna affect your arms and your shoulders and your back muscles just not being able to function properly. Or like I think he got like stabbed in the leg at one point, and then you see him like running. And I get
Hmm.
it. They did the like awesome adrenaline thing a couple times, but I was just like, And then similar to, I think,
But like, does that? But here's the thing: does that like take you out of it more than say like a movie and just like a Dwayne Johnson action movie where
no,
he's
no.
like
I mean,
shot
I
in the.
went with it. I rolled with it for sure. I
It's
rolled
sort
with
of the
it. I
same,
just like,
right? Yeah.
yeah, it just, the other big thing is, and I think this is more, like if you do an analysis of three act structure from like Save the Cat, or you sort of understand the beats of like, oh, and then here's the Midnight of the Soul or Dark Night of the Soul, Dark Night of the Soul, um, moment, and then there's going to be the turn, and then the beats that sort of affects the movie, that the idea of like a Chekhov's gun, right? Like
Hmm.
that phrase.
If you see the gun, it's gonna come back.
Yeah, that like in this movie, the twist I felt was too much of a Chekhov's gun at the beginning, that I was like, oh, I know the twist that's going to happen.
Oh, we could spoil it. It's been out for a while. Like, are you talking
Whoa,
about like
whoa,
the
whoa,
girl?
whoa.
The we could spoil it. Spoiler, blah. It's been out for a while.
No way, it's not been out that long. It's been out for a
Whatever.
while for
But
you.
like,
Wait,
also,
wait,
here's
no,
the
no, no. But
thing.
you know what? Yes, the thing that you were gonna say is
Hey,
gonna
we
be.
gave warning, and again, it's not like this like pop
This is a.
culture historical movie that people are like,
You
oh, I've
should
never
skip
seen it.
ahead. Skip
It's like
ahead
whatever.
60
Like the
seconds if you're listening
girlfriend
this.
being the bad guy or
Yeah.
like in on the heist.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
actually I did not. I missed that. I
Oh,
mean,
in the beginning, right after she messes with the guy from like high school or college that like makes fun of him at the bar, and she makes the guy drink the hot sauce. And then as they're leaving, she's like, "Yeah, I'm a really good liar." Like like something like that. And I was like,
I mean,
"Oh,
I that
like they
it
wouldn't have
fooled
said
me.
that."
I the twist got me. I mean, I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Interesting, interesting. I
That
mean, but I think
so.
it's it's I look for those things, or I just sort of see
Mhm.
them when thinking about movies, which is suck sometimes.
Yeah. No, I mean, I kind of like fell into it. Like, okay, she's the damsel in distress, and and if anything, like that twist sort of like it made it a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, it made it more
It's like
interesting for sure.
it's like, oh, okay, well, she's just not the damsel in distress and all that. But obviously the turn on her where she's like, oh, I'm gonna like not go full bad and steal or whatever. But
Yeah,
um,
yeah, but I mean, I enjoyed it, and the like,
mhm.
the action I thought was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it was enjoyable.
yeah, and the two cops. I thought I always love the schleppy cop, by the books cop,
Hmm.
pairing, which is like every single cop thing, but it's always kind of fun. And the actor, who plays the schleppy cop is a old school one of the UCB five, the people who
Oh, what's
started
his
Upright
name?
Citizens Begin. Yeah,
Matt.
Matt
Matt.
Walsh.
Matt Walsh. Yeah, he's funny. He's great.
Yeah, and he's great in a lot of movies. But I always love seeing him just because I'm a old UCB head.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, he was great.
yeah,
And did you ever watch? Just to quickly touch on TV. Veep. Did you watch Veep?
I saw a few episodes. Yeah, he's great in that. The Veep has
Yeah.
a lot of improvisers, which is nice.
Yeah.
He was also in Old School, if you
Oh
remember
yeah.
that. Yeah, where he's like the jealous coworker. Like, hey man,
Yes.
we heard you're throwing these crazy ragers, and
Yeah.
you had sex with the boss's wife. Slap. Oh, sorry, sorry.
That's a good one. Gotta watch that again.
What did you see? What have you seen?
What I've seen lately. So, based on okay, so we recently did an episode on the Long Walk trailer,
Yeah, yeah,
the like 50th Stephen King adaptation coming out this year. I saw it in theaters. It's still in
yeah.
theaters, obviously, and
Is it? There was that YouTube comment of like this. This was the Stephen King book that traumatized me the most, or something like that. Like, was
yeah,
it?
there was a lot of those comments. Yeah. Um, I mean, I was engaged like throughout the film. Kudos to the director for sort of making, making a movie where it's just basically walking and talking for 90 plus minutes, like sort of entertaining and engaging.
Mm-hmm,
It's violent. It doesn't like pull any punches with like the
mm-hmm.
executions when a walker falls below the speed limit or the requirements.
Yeah.
It was more or less predictable at the end, and it
As
ultimately.
as both you and I thought that it gets down to one eventually
Well,
at some point, like it gets
well, it's
smaller
not
and
just
smaller.
that,
Like
but it's just like
it's,
I like halfway through, you kind of like okay, I see where this is what's gonna likely happen.
is there a
Ultimately,
rule where they're not allowed to attack each other?
there's no specific rules to that. I forget. It's just really the walking speed. You get 3 warnings, and
Mm-hmm,
like that's it. And like and if you hit if you get one warning, you're given like a 3 hour like okay, your warnings reset. You know,
mm-hmm.
so like there's that sort of time window where the warnings do reset
Oh, that's good.
at a certain
Okay.
point. So it's not like, oh, you get 3 warnings total. Like they'll
Yeah, yeah.
reset.
And
So
did they
usually
stop for food and stuff, or is it continuous?
it's continuous. There's no sleeping.
There's no sleeping, but they bring their own food and water,
Yeah, they
or
had food, and the I guess the military, they have like a tanker where you can fill up water, and they handed out sort of like little rations or something.
okay? Because I was just
Um,
thinking like that might be a huge,
yeah, no,
performance enhancing drug or
I.
whatever.
Yeah, no. So they have their own canteens, and the truck has like a tank where they fill up water, but they're walking. It's all walking.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think ultimately at the end it probably would have been a more thrilling and surprising read.
yeah.
Um, as a book and likely works in that format better as reading a book over time. And
Yeah.
but I think it's worth a watch. Definitely, I think you can. I think you said you would stream it. But yeah, stream it, check it out. But I think it's a one watcher for me. I don't need to see it again. And then there's one character, this actor in it,
Hmm.
David Johnson. Like I honestly, a lot of the times throughout the movie, I did not understand what he was saying. Um,
Oh,
yeah, it
because
was just like I believe he's British, but like he was also he was doing some kind of like
like Southern accent or something.
southern, some Midwest. It was hard to like really understand. I was like, what is he saying? So yeah,
Huh.
that was a little of a negative there. Um, and then I also recently saw him, that sports horror
Oh yeah, yeah,
football
yeah. You and I talked
movie.
about it.
That
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The
we
like
we were yeah.
zombie sport, not zombie, but like vampire or something, right?
No,
Kind
no,
of.
not no, no. I mean, it was what we didn't get to do an episode on it. We
Yeah.
talked about it, but like I was excited about this one. I really, really liked the first teaser. Jordan Peele produced movie. It's more of like it wasn't zombie. It's more like kind of it's like the concept was like what would you do to be the greatest sports player of all time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what sacrifices, and obviously some sort of like cult and devil worship or whatever it involved. And, that's basically what you could glean from the first teaser. So yeah, I was super excited about it. Looked cool, different. I like sports movies, football
I
movies.
can I can already see the turn coming.
But yeah, ultimately it just like was underdeveloped. They just didn't have like a proper game plan
Oh,
to it. It's just like
the
some
irony.
sce- yeah, like there's just like scenes that it's like okay, cool, it's creepy, but the main character's just like, oh, okay, whatever, like he stays okay. So he's like a college recruit. He's projected to be like the first overall
Draft
pick,
pick.
and he goes to do a private training session with the team that will want to draft him. And it's they have him like do a private mini camp training session at Marlon Wayne's like mansion somewhere in the desert. And like just there's this weird shit happening there in this house. Like some people like break in, these like crazy fanatics of the team. And like the guy's just like, oh, that was he just it's like if you're in this situation, you would be like, get out of
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like he
Yeah.
just like was just like whatever. Yeah, it was unfortunate. It fell flat. It didn't go. I mean, I like the ideas of it. Like what would you do to be
Yeah.
the
Oh, I
greatest
dude,
player
I
of all
have a
time?
full screenplay I wrote with somebody that's sort of on that. The screenplay I have is sort of what is the line that counts as performance enhancing drug, and like how far would you push?
Mhm.
And depending on your definition, some things are cheating, some things aren't, right? I mean, the things baseball that was illegal in baseball or not illegal in baseball was illegal in football or track. Things that are related, illegal for the Olympics
Mhm.
competition are completely legal in some other non like in professional sports that aren't the Olympics. So there's
Mhm.
different definitions. There's technically a certain level of caffeine in your blood is illegal in track because caffeine is a performance enhancing drug, and people used
Mhm.
to pop caffeine pills to a certain level. So
Mhm.
it's like the same thing as drinking if you have more than like 8 cups of coffee right before you race or something
Yeah.
quite high. But
Well,
but
this
again,
one, I mean, for this, I mean, I don't think it's illegal to like sell your soul to a devil
no.
cult, and with the expectation that you're just gonna be the greatest player of all time and win all these championships. But yeah, I like that idea, and like the sort of it had this like they it seems like they just like blended a bunch of movies together, like Rosemary's Baby, Get
Mm,
Out, and just like some gritty football movie in there, and it just came out blah,
yeah.
just like a
Yeah.
bad protein shake, just to throw in some more like sports metaphors or whatever. Marlon Wayans is really good in it. He's really intense. But
He
and then
plays
visually,
himself.
no, he's something, it's
Oh,
something different for sure. I
oh,
mean, I haven't
oh, oh!
seen
I
it,
thought
but
you said they went to his ranch, not like actual Wayne's branch, just like
no, no,
Marlon Wayans was
no.
playing a character who was.
Yeah, yeah, he plays like the star quarterback of the
Gotcha,
team
gotcha.
that he's basically kind of like retired, so like they're looking for like okay, will this recruit be be down to do this, and like he's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
testing
yeah.
him and put him through these like grueling like training sessions and all of that. So yeah, and visually it was cool, but yeah, ultimately thumbs down.
Yeah.
Cool. What are we doing today?
Well, welcome to Trailer Teardowns. I'm one of your co-hosts, Evan Bass Zeisel, joined by Angel Acevedo, and today we're discussing the trailer for Good Boy.
Good boy. Yes,
Yeah,
dog
good
movie.
boy,
Dog.
good boy, good
Yes.
boy, good boy, good boy.
Yes. All right. So, Good Boy, directed by Ben Leonberg. It's his first feature. He's written and directed a bunch of short films. The movie stars Shane Jensen, Ariel Friedman, and Indy, a dog. The movie comes out October 3rd. And there's an interesting fact, and I don't know if you saw this, but the star of the film, the dog, Indy, is played by, or is the director's own dog. So, are you a dog person? Do you
I'm
like dogs?
I'm a mix. So when I was younger, I was deathly afraid of dogs. And
Why is
then
that?
I don't know. In elementary school, I definitely wrote an essay and quote unquote essay because it's elementary school, saying that I was deathly afraid of dogs because I was like attacked by a dog when I was younger, but I completely made that up. Apologies,
Wow.
apologies, fourth grade teacher, fifth grade teacher who I wrote that to and pretended that was real. But no, I don't know. I was just afraid of them. I think it was because they have sharp teeth and I didn't want to get mauled. I
So
like
sharks and dogs you're like afraid of.
sharp things that have sharp teeth that could kill me
Sharp
in
teeth.
my
Okay.
mind. But then when I was in high school, my dad and stepmother got a dog. They were like, "Hey, what do you think of dogs?" And I was like, "Well, I'm deathly afraid of them." And they're like, "Well, we got one."
Deathly afraid.
And they were like, I was like, "Oh, cool. Thanks for checking. Thanks for knowing the things I'm afraid of." But now I'm not afraid of dogs, except for,
Wh-
ones when they start barking and drooling and look like they're rabid and gonna kill me.
What kind of
But yeah,
dog
so
was it?
now I like dogs. They had a Boston Terrier.
Ah, okay.
It's a small dog. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Ferocious.
And you're a dog person, right?
I am. Yeah, I've had dogs. We when I was
Yeah.
little.
How many do you have? You have
Right now,
one
we have
now?
two. We have
Or two?
two.
Okay, you have two.
But growing up, had a dog from till I was about 13, and we moved to Germany. My dad got stationed in Germany when I was 13, turning 14, and at that time it was a real hassle for military families, and to bring in over a dog, you would have put the pet in quarantine for like 6 months, and da
Ooh,
da da. Yeah, it was just like a real hassle. So,
a
and then
rigmarole, as they say.
a lot of places like I imagine on base like where like families lived and the housing they allowed pets, but like we weren't planning to like live in housing. We were planning to like rent in the German town. So, and like
Hmm.
the rumor was like there was a lot of places that just would not accept pets. So it was like sort of like I guess like lightly encourage, these are the challenges of bringing a pet from the States into Germany. So ultimately, my dad decided, like, let's leave it with one of our aunts in
Hmm.
Chicago, and that's what we did. Um, so yeah, then at
And
that,
that dog lived happily ever after, and we're just gonna leave it as that.
uh, no,
Hopefully,
unfortunately, no.
we're gonna
So
leave it
yeah,
at that.
and then yeah, didn't rest of high school, college didn't have a dog, and then got a dog again for the first time, like 15 years ago, and we still have that little dog here, Remy. You don't know Remy?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and then we have another dog too. So, yeah, dog person. Yeah, they're they could be a lot of work. They're very attention needy, but they're very loyal and all that. So, so yeah, this movie, Good Boy. What'd you think? What stood out?
Well, so those hopefully you watched the trailer. It's a horror movie, essentially from the dog's perspective. Uh, I I loved that they leaned into the faux home video kind of style at the beginning, of like man dog's best friend. And I was also really happy that it wasn't like, but then the dog became possessed by the devil and he just kills everybody. Like I was almost expecting initially for that to be the turn, that it's like, oh, it's a evil dog, which I feel like has been done before. I can't necessarily place a movie, but I feel like
Mhm.
that's been done before. I like that they leaned into it being from the dog's perspective, which I think, that's the unique thing about this movie. Clearly, I think that's possibly the only unique thing about this movie, but they lean into it. I think they do a good job of setting it up with that like home movie feel, even if, some of the filters, like I think it started off with like a VHS kind of feel. And then they added different pixelation filters that I don't know if necessarily worked, but like good
Are you talking about
enough.
just the like first 15 seconds
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah. The
the
first
for the
15
rest
seconds.
of
Yeah.
for the main chunk of the trailer?
Yeah, yeah. Like I
Oh,
just think
okay.
that it was a good way to start the film. Like it it pulls you in that way.
Mhm.
Um, makes you care about the main character in a sense, but also was nice that like when it did do the turn a little, to reveal that it's a horror movie with a dog as the the main character perspective. It's, you've set up to like this kind of dog. I also really liked the use of the like overlays slash like on the title cards as it were, and sound, where at 15 seconds in, when they do the knocking on the door, it's the dots in the ellipses. It's like and then it's like knock, 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 and they
Yeah.
do it again. With at 23 seconds, there's like another knock at the door, and I think it's like Shutter and a couple of other titles that I thought the mixing of sort of the on-screen either font lettering with and or title cards with the sound worked really well to kind of create that ambiance.
Mhm.
Um, that's the kind of like the big thing I thought going with it.
Yeah, and that sort of yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it a couple times on previous episodes. Like, yeah, I'm a big fan of that use. And it seems very common in like these like horror movie trailers. I mean, kind of reminds me of for Bring Her Back. They did a lot of that sound
Hmm.
design where they the title cards punch with the sound hits and all of that. So yeah, very similar there as well. I like that.
That was like the first big thing that hit me. Like, what was the first thing that hit you?
So yeah, I mean, I had pitched this trailer. You were kind of sort of like on the fence. You were trying to like get out of this,
I
and
just
like
think. Go
my
ahead. Yeah.
my and I'll give you say like if this was sort of like a trailer, another like horror movie trailer, a slasher where it's just the main characters of a damsel in distress, a blonde, whatever, high
Hmm.
school 20. I would have been like, no, like we've seen this a million times. But like there was something about this that's unique. It's got a lot of buzz from the festivals, perspective from the dog. Okay, all right, this is something unique and different. Let's see what it's. I think there's some stuff we can talk about there. And it also very similar to another like horror movie that came out a couple years ago. I haven't seen it. It's on my list. It was a movie called A Violent Nature, slasher movie, like classic like slasher in the woods kind of thing, but it's strictly from the POV of the killer.
Oh yeah, yeah. We
I
talked about
that's
this.
sort of
I think we had mentioned it in another episode. We had talked about the switching of the perspective. We not like the trailer itself, but you had mentioned
mhm.
it, I think, because we were talking like something about that, like the alternate perspective.
Yeah, in A Violent Nature. Sorry, I think
Mm.
I just said A Violent, but that was the movie. And I again, I haven't seen it, but supposedly it's 100% from the POV of the killer. So that's like, oh, it's something different. Again, like I think that's what I think is kind of draws my attention. It's like, okay, yeah, these kind of movies are like, but like they are kind of redundant and repetitive. But so that's what's like, all right, let's do this one. Um, so for a horror movie trailer, that this is, it surprisingly doesn't give a lot away. And I know it's a short trailer, and
Hmm.
maybe that's a factor of it, and the movie is probably like sub 8 90 minutes too. And so but it's very common in, as you know, it's very common in horror trailers that they show a lot of jump scares or moments when characters are
Yep.
about to get killed or you suspect they're going to get killed. And like this doesn't have that. And that could also be sort of like tied into like, I mean, there's probably doesn't seem like there's characters
Too
just
many
running around.
characters. Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
just running
There's
around.
like that
So
one
yeah.
person in the reveal of like the walking in the background at the beginning that
Mhm.
crosses, and you're like, I think that's supposed to be the jump scare, sort of.
Yeah. And so I like that there's not a lot there, and and who knows, maybe there's not much in it in the movie itself, but that stood out to me. Similar to you. I like how it opens with this sentimental home video footage montage of a puppy running around, getting bigger and playing with its owner, and the look and sound of that montage almost plays. It sort of reminded me something that you would see like a Super Bowl commercial,
Hmm.
like the
Hmm.
beginning of a Super Bowl commercial, and then that features a
Or
cute.
intro to Puppy Bowl, if that's still
Yeah,
around.
yeah, something that would feature like some cute animal, but then in a classic horror trailer form, it has that turn. Some of that footage, I'm sure wouldn't be surprised if it is actual footage of the dog growing up with the
Hmm. Hmm.
owner, and then some of it maybe it's just like stock footage that they pulled. So yeah, those things caught my eye. That's what sort of stood out at the beginning. Um, some of the little things you kind of touched upon it, like there's this motif of static video or video footage intermixed with like how the titles are used and they cut in and out,
Hmm.
with this the static sound change over of like maybe changing channels from like the old CRT televisions. The graphics of have the scan lines of like CRT
For
TVs.
all those younger audience members listening, that's what happened. That was what existed before streaming. Um,
Yeah. um and there must be sort of like a plot point with a TV or some video, because one, there is that TV playing a video of some old man sitting on a chair, swirling his head around, and he says, "I guess I'm next." But then,
Did he
like I
say, "I
said, like
guess
the
I'm next,"
trail.
or I thought it was like I shouldn't have come here or something, or is that a
I
different
thought
part
he
of it?
said, no, I think that was a different part of it.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, that was like the first.
The first one. I mean, to me, I think they did a good job of keeping it short because I mean, maybe I'm going out on a limb on this, but I feel like it's not a super complicated concept. Like, I think it's from the dog's perspective, and it looks very much like, oh, there's some zombie thing going on. Probably the dog's owner or somebody comes in. So there's maybe two people, but you don't really aren't given interactions. You see the one person like banging their head against the wall as another sort of moment. But it feels,
Mhm.
and somebody spitting up, but it feels very much like zombie esque, except for small kind of whatever area that, like, I'm making it up, but it could be like, oh, somebody's friend visits and they were just traveling from out of town in an international, some four-way country, and then there's some news report about some kind of virus, but like, oh, it's okay, and then like, the owner gets it, and the dogs are the only one that, the end reveal is dogs and animals can't get it, so they take over the world.
Do you think the guy in the video is the owner?
I'm not sure. I don't think. I think in some parts, yes, but there's like one. It was like I thought it said like I shouldn't have come here or something, and that I think um had something weird. But I will say, so it did also it did the thing that a lot of horror trailers do, which is near the end it does like a series of quick kind of cuts. And what's interesting is in this day and age where it's not the old school TVs, but you can pause in the moments to see. So I paused to like, what were those images that we see? So like one of them at 101 is a dream catcher. It's like a metal dream catcher with a crystal in the center by a window. And then at 102, it's a cemetery, somebody walking in the cemetery. So there is something outside. And at 103, it's kind of interesting. It's like a cave or a crack in like a giant rock wall, and the dog is sort of standing at the like, doorway sized cave.
Hmm.
And then at 104 is like the, a great classic twist on a horror shot, which is a extreme close up of the dog's eye, but with the reflection of like somebody kind of walking towards them in the eye,
Yeah. Hmm.
which is always like a cool thing. And I think, I can't remember where it was, but that moment where the dog's under the bed, like looking out, and then there's another one where it's like the camera's really low behind the dog, and you get kind of the dog perspective. That I think one thing that's nice is, as you said, from what is it, In a Violent Nature or whatever it was,
Hmm.
um, when you can get from different perspectives. And even I like it when it's low. Like if you have like, you ever see like a little kid's perspective, but they're filming from that perspective, like everybody looks giant because you're looking up from below. That I
Mhm.
think seeing it from where you might only see sort of the knees down unless the dog looks up, you get some interesting ways of presenting it, which I'm curious, how it plays out in the film, because I feel like that's where they, the dog sneaks its head around, or I don't know. You can play with it.
Yeah, no, I think the trailer for what I'm sure was a complex, very hard to do,
Mm.
make this movie. They
Never
always say
work.
in film,
It's hardest to work
yeah,
with dogs and
and
children.
children, yeah, that's they don't do that, and don't shoot at the beach too, like yeah,
Oh yeah.
because the equipment. Anyways, but yeah, like so, but I feel like the trailer does give you a full sense of like what this
Hmm.
movie is. You're not necessarily you don't know the full details. You don't know like what are these vampires, zombies, what's
Yeah.
whatever you don't know, but like the concept is there, and I think they do a good job with the edit and being able to like fully wrap that in. I keep looking and thinking about the whole like TV
Hmm.
concept. It ends like the title card ends on a sort of mock up. It's not it's
Yeah.
on a TV screen, and there's all those cues, sound design cues to a TV, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of that in the movie. Maybe not a lot, or just like some sort of like plot device there, or
Hmm.
something where
Maybe the
the
dog's trying to get the zombie to remember who it is and is playing videos of themselves to fill time in the movie.
yeah, no, not necessarily. No, I think that's where we're gonna get a lot of information
Yeah.
as an audience, like from those videos or that
Like
video.
backstory of who people
Yeah,
are or whatever.
because like it's not like we're gonna hear the dog's thoughts. We're not
Hmm.
gonna. He's not talking.
It might
So
be a
like,
very quiet film. I mean, not in the sense of sound
mm,
design, but in the sense of like the dog's gonna bark or whatever, but that's about it. And that
yeah,
you'll hear the characters speak, but if it's from the dog's perspective.
yeah, like so, like he's the protagonist, and like so you got to think about like, oh, how will this information be communicated that isn't visual?
Hmm.
And a good film, you could tell a story with just pictures and images,
Hmm.
right? So, but I feel like some of it's got to like get communicated a different way, and it seems like it's this TV screen, this video that's been played. It seems like it's a video, and who knows? Maybe there's another dog that pops on screen, pops in the movie, and he's like, "Oh, they have a conversation." No, I don't think that, um, but
Well,
yeah, it seems like that TV is going to be like that device that helps
yeah,
communicate
yeah, yeah.
some sort of exposition to the audience.
Do you think the dog's perspective is a big enough thing to be able to carry the film, or do you think it's going to burn out, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be like, oh, like I feel like from the dog's perspective, it's cool, it's interesting for how long? Like, will it make it throughout the whole film, or at the end, or by the end, are you gonna be like, cool, we get it? Like, I wish
Mm,
there's something more going on. I mean, and maybe there is a bunch more that we just don't see because it's a short trailer, which I'm a fan of because I think a lot of times ones that we've talked about, they show too much.
hmm
So this one, at least, it's like, I don't know. I wonder.
Yeah, I think since I suspect the movie will be short, I think it will kind of just move along.
Hmm.
And not that like just because there's no one speaking on screen, or anything, like you just can follow his like think of Wally, like the
Hmm.
first like
Great
whatever
movie. Yeah.
40 minutes before Eve shows up,
Hmm.
you know,
Eva.
Eva, it's just the robot Wally doing
Hmm.
his thing, and you got it, and you're locked in. This could, and then this is a horror movie, so like there is that sort of like natural you're
Oh yeah.
if
I
if
mean,
it's
I
done
mean,
well, there's gonna be suspense, and you're gonna be like, oh geez, what's gonna happen.
I mean, Get
um
Out. Like the best moments were the ones where it was kind of quiet and you don't know what's going on, but you're seeing
mhm.
things.
So yeah, I think it would be engaging enough, even in like as like think of the movies. I don't know if you ever watched those like animal movies like Benji, those dog
Hmm.
movies, Homeward
I mean,
Bound.
a
um
long time ago.
so like
The Land
those,
Before
but again,
Time.
those were made for kids, so it's a little bit different.
Horton Hears a Who.
Horton Hears a Who.
Horton Hears a Who. That's
Yeah, that's
animated from like 15
yeah,
years
but
ago.
that's not.
That's
How does that
animals.
match?
It's an
No, it's
elephant.
not. Oh,
Horton's an elephant.
Yeah, but he talks.
That's true.
The dogs in Homer Bound
Yeah.
don't recall talking. They don't speak. But I think with that, like, also, I think you had that human element where they're like, "Oh, where are the dogs?" That they cut back
Yeah. Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
like just
I mean, I'm gonna say yes, but I haven't seen it in way too
like
long.
this,
And
like,
yeah,
okay, I guess
the
going
the,
back
the
to the
zombie guy is not gonna be like, "Good dog, eat
yeah,
food
no, but
now."
like I guess the question is like, who's the owner? Do you think it's the guy in the video, or is it like are the owners out for the night, going out to eat, to
No,
dinner, they're
I
seeing a
think the owner
movie,
is there.
and do we cut
I think the reveal is
cut
going to be
back to
there's
them at
multiple. I think there's multiple people. I think there's like the guest and who brings the virus or something, and then the owner. But maybe I'm wrong. I thought there was like, isn't there like a skinny guy and then a
well,
less
there's the
skinny
guy at the
guy?
beginning where who bangs his head on the door.
Yeah, he's a little bit skinnier, but like it looks like the guy who's at like a minute and 15 in, he looks a bit bigger
Minute
than
15. Hold
the
on.
initial guy who crosses the screen at like 40 whatever
Hold on.
47 seconds or
Hold
something.
on. The minute 15 is the guy in the video who's bigger.
Yeah, but at 47 48 seconds is a
All
guy
right,
who's
jump into.
definitely skinnier.
Oh yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, that's the guy banging his head on the door.
So at least there's two people.
Yeah, two
my,
people
my
there.
thinking is there was one is the owner and one is a guest, or his
One is
son
the
coming to visit or something, or father coming to
mm,
visit the son. I don't know.
yeah, I'm wondering. I'm just, I guess the first question is like, who's the owner? Because like, here's the thing: if the owners go on a trip away for the weekend, typically you're not just leaving your dog at home. You need someone to come over and watch the dog, or you board the dog.
I mean,
Come
suspension of
house it.
disbelief, Angel. Some people just leave their dogs at home.
No, no,
Automatic feeder, poop in a corner,
nah, no. They're not a cat. Cat, you can do that easily.
toilet
Dog, you
train a
can do what?
dog. Have one of those collars that opens up the little door hatch thing, like in Home Alone.
Door hatch thing.
Remember in Home Alone, there's a little door where Marv sticks his head in,
Oh,
and
oh yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
right, that's the doggy door.
Yes, but you don't just
No, you wouldn't leave the dog at home, but like if this movie might be, who knows?
an alternate version of this is like, okay, the parents, the owners are out for the night, and like this, all this stuff goes down well. Like, uh,
And they
the
come back and
owners,
they're like, "Whoa,
what
what's all
happened?
this murder and mayhem?"
What did you do
And the
here?
dog's chewing on a femur.
But then, like, that's
Um,
how you can make it sort of engaging if you're questioning like the engagement. Like, oh, you just cut back to the owners at dinner talking, or they're at like some fundraising
yeah, I
event.
don't think that's this movie.
uh, no, I don't think so either.
But
But that's
I think it's interesting, like the little things in that, the dream catcher, the cemetery,
mhm.
seeing the cave or the crack in the wall, like those you only see in those quick shots, and it's very different than inside the house, which is like the entire rest of the other trailer, which I think is an interesting juxtaposition because you only just see them. So it's almost like they want you to come back and try and glance at them, or to just watch it over and over again, or I don't know, subliminal message. That's like an interesting approach.
yeah. I think it's just like, okay, let's not to knock the trailer. I'm sure it's like, all right, now we need the like 20 seconds or 10 to 15 seconds like fast montage of like, all right,
Yeah, yeah.
let's
But
get some
it
good
doesn't give it
spooky
away, which is
images.
good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Yeah, it does a well job. And then the last shot, kind of a classic. Like, okay, there's the dog looking. It seems like he's watching the TV screen, and then off
Kind
to
of
his right behind him.
poltergeist a little bit.
Yeah. Well, off to the right, something in the shadows like
Hmm, hmm.
wakes up. Good. Like, whoa, good stinger there.
Yep.
What'd you think of some of the titles or the quotes, the pull quotes from
That are like kind of
reviews?
humorous, like the best acting of whatever
Well, I don't know if
of
they're.
any
I mean,
species.
I think it
Like
works.
I think it
It's a
works, but
good.
it also is a bit. It's like kind of humorous though, which I don't mind actually. I thought was like a nice juxtaposition.
Well, it's nice how they cut it because they first say one of the most emotive actors of his generation, and then
Yep.
it's like pause, regardless of species. IndieWire.
For those
Do,
listening, Angel, when he gets excited, likes to move really far away from the mic. So,
so
uh,
excited.
uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think they did a good job of like reveal. It's a little out of like the genre feel, but I liked it. Like
What
I
do you
thought
mean
it was
genre feel?
like it didn't feel like a horror movie title. It was more like, oh, these are positive things said about the movie, which a lot of indie movies do. But I feel like with horror
Uh,
movies, like that best acting, like
I disagree. Well, I feel like if you go back to the quotes, all right, we can go to the quotes there, man. I feel like all of them. That one's different, but I feel like it works for
yeah, it works
what the
because they
movie
know
is,
this is the thing. This is their thing about this movie. I
and
liked
it
it.
seems like
I mean, as I said,
it says one of the best horror movies so far this year. IndieWire. Most of the pull quotes that seem to come from IndieWire. Um, Genuinely unnerving. That's that works for a horror movie
yeah,
title or
works
horror
for a girl
movie.
or boy.
Refreshing and entertaining works for a girl or a
Yeah.
boy.
Uh,
Spooky, strange. I'm
I
just going
mean,
through all the
super
surprise.
generic quotes.
Oh yeah, whatever. I mean, who knows what they said around
Unique,
it?
fun, a
Hold
movie,
on. But I'm saying like those work. Strange. Yeah,
dark.
I like when they have strange over the dog. He looks like he's kind of drunk and high there. There, if it's at where is it? Trying to line this up. It's at uh 56. It's strange, and the dog's like lying his on his back, and he just looks like he's maybe like high or drugged
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it looks like another home video.
Surprisingly heartfelt. All right, that's
Well,
doesn't totally
surprisingly heartfelt, which is
doesn't
over
totally
an image
scream.
of blood. So I thought that
Yeah.
was like a, you know,
Yes. Doesn't I mean that doesn't totally scream a horror movie trailer. Hold on, just going through referencing them all.
I mean, but it's also, I think they're playing again. It's playing into the dog thing. It's heartfelt because it's a dog,
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
which is not to say that that's a bad thing. I think that's what this movie has going for it. I think they
Hmm.
did a good job of leaning into the reason people are going to go see this movie.
Hmm.
They're not like, oh, I want to see a movie about maybe zombies. Or I want to see. It's like I want to see a movie from the dog's perspective.
Yeah. Cool. All right. I guess I'm gonna do comments.
Yeah,
Here we go. As a dog myself, it's great to see that we are finally getting our spotlight on the big screen.
that's a very eloquent dog. Not that, you know.
Diversity. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, I just like that
Love.
the dog knows how to read and write. Yeah, go ahead.
um, I feel like this is the most united the internet has been in a long time. Regardless of our differences, we would all die for this doggo. That I think this comment is sort of referencing a lot of the other comments
The
that
positive,
they're
yeah, it's
very
definitely dog
passionate,
people. It's like
dog
people,
positive.
yeah, people who are gonna comment on this are dog lovers. They're not gonna be the cat lovers. It's like people who call to give, you know, information about how they thought of a service. Like it's all the people who hated it. It's not all the people who loved it. Because the people who loved it are like, that was great. And they move on. And the people who hated it is like, let me find a number.
A lot
You're
of
like,
people were like, "Oh my god, watching this trailer made me so sad. I'm crying.
that's
I was like
interesting.
scared for the dog and all that." Yeah, there's some very passionate dog lovers, dog owners. And the last one I have is the most expressive dog actor I've seen since that one dog from The Thing. Absolute cinema.
Actually, I'm gonna go against this one. Wasn't the like the Bell and the Diver or something back in the day, that movie, there was a dog that was nominated
Hmm.
for like the Oscars or something. I feel like that dog is more recent, and the Diver and the Bell or something like that. Or maybe it was just that same year.
The
There was like
Diving
some
Bell,
dog, the Diving
Diving
Bell.
Bell and Butterfly.
Yeah, maybe it's that. Like I feel like there was a dog that got nominated that year for something.
Wait, not for an Oscar, obviously.
Not for the
We're
Oscar. It
not
was like
talking.
they were like, you should get an Oscar though. Because
Oh,
instead they just like gave him a doggy treat.
yeah, right. I don't know. You have to look that up.
Yeah, yeah. I'll have to look that up.
Cool. What's your rating on this? That's it on comment. So yeah, what's your rating?
I would listen to you tell me what you thought of this movie.
That's
I'm a
not
pass. I'm not gonna watch a movie. I'm not gonna
is
watch a
it
horror movie about with a dog's perspective. It's not intriguing enough for me to see it. If Jordan Peele wrote and directed this, I'd probably see it, but he
all
didn't.
right.
He's like the only movie,
So is
the
your
only horror movies I
is
see are like that, or
is
like comedy horrors,
mhm.
like Lost Boys or
Is
whatever. That was, you know,
is being deathly afraid of dogs a factor in your rating?
no, It's not. I feel like
You
if I
sure?
was, if yeah, because I'm no longer deathly afraid. I mean, when I was younger, I would even less likely to see it for sure, and it would have been a
Mm.
factor. But I feel like the dog is a protagonist, and is not the if the dog was like rabies or zombie dogs, then I definitely would not see it because of my slight fear of dogs. This one, the
So
dog's the
you're
protagonist,
s- so you're so you're just like not interested because it's a dog.
and a
You're like
horror movie. I mean, it's hard. No, no, I think
a
it's
dog
because it's a horror
protagonist isn't
movie.
for me. No.
I think
Okay,
for
what if
me,
it was
I
dog doing Shakespeare?
well, fuck yeah, I'm there. That'd be amazing. Like Air
Uh,
Bud, but for Shakespeare.
well, no, just like a Shakespearean film adaptation, but the protagonist or protagonist,
I would
the easiest
100%
one
see
would be
that.
like Romeo
I
and
would see
Juliet and
that.
dogs.
Somebody should make that movie. We should make like an AI trailer of that movie because I that movie people would go see.
That would be like the low hanging fruit. Romeo and Juliet,
Okay, ready? Ready?
starring
I'll even
dogs.
one up it. Make it drunk Shakespeare and the lead actor is a dog.
Drunk
So the dog
Shakespeare.
gets drunk. Oh, do you not know? So in New York, there's a thing. I thought it was sort of so they get actors. They have a like a Shakespearean play that they prepare, but
Mm.
then right before the show, like the beginning of the show with the audience, one actor is chosen and they get them insanely drunk, and then they do the show. So like everybody has to deal with the fact that this actor is just crazy drunk while doing the show.
Is like the is that actor like part of the troupe always? And it's like,
Yeah,
oh, your
yeah, yeah.
turn to be drunk. Your turn to be drunk. Okay,
They
they're
just
not just like
randomly
picking up.
selected at the beginning, I think. I'm not 100% sure how it works. I've never been to the show, but I knew some of the producers who originally started it.
And how do they like audition these actors to be? Because like, what if someone's just like a belligerent drunk and just
I
like,
don't know. That's a good question. I think then you only have them do that once and you learn. I don't know. I mean, yeah, like for safety wise, I'm sure there's now different things that have to be built in.
that seems like a lot of liability there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would
Okay.
definitely see Dog Shakespeare.
Okay.
What about
Cool.
you? What about you?
Um, I'll stream it. Um,
You're not
I'm
in
intrigued.
theaters for this dog? You hate dogs, don't you?
Yes, I hate dogs. No, I
You
mean,
heard it
I would
first here, guys.
say, uh, I would try to see it, but I don't know. Like, I think this is something I would totally stream it with my dogs at home. Stella, she'll watch it with me on the couch, get her review on it, her take, if she liked it or
I
not.
like
But
it.
yeah, I'll stream it for sure. So I'll add it to my future watch list somehow, so I get notified that it's available. I might even rent it if it's like $5. I wouldn't rent it for like $20, or 25, that sort of like VOD pricing.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'll check it out. I want to know. I want to know what the deal is.
And I will find out what the deal is from you. This works perfectly.
Perfect. Cool. All right. Let's
Awesome.
wrap it up.
Well, thank you for listening. And I'm Evan. That's Angel. And we're here every time you come back. Make sure to like and subscribe, as they say, and tell us what you think about the trailer if you're seeing it. If you saw it, what you thought. Always curious. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.